Hello? Oh, hold on. Just realised I haven't got my light on. Oh, there we go.
Yo, that was a village beginning.
That's all right. I'll cut it out. Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Nerds. Just me and Benji today, talking about an absolute... we've talked about low-scoring thrillers already this season, but I'd say this was perhaps the most thrilling of low-scoring thrillers that we've had so far.
Indeed.
Gujarat versus Delhi. Everybody that wasn't a Gujarat fan pretty much wanted Delhi to win because of just the way that the table's going. And wow, gotta say it was an absolute doozy. Another day, another difficult track, it would seem, because after getting a string of sort of 200 plus scores, we suddenly were treated to two very low scoring games. We had RCB versus LSG yesterday or the day before. By the time you see this, I don't know. In which, and we also had the added drama of Gautam Gambhir and Viratkohli having a scrap after.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, no fighting at the end of this one, so it's slightly less interesting, but it's still very good. And might not have been fist fights, but there were some good knuckleballs from Ishant Sharma. But bench, Delhi bat first, which instantly you're thinking Gujarat are going to walk this because they've got the best chasing side in the league. And things become even worse for them when Mohammad Shami decides, you know what, I'm ready for this World Test Championship. Let's get things going, and takes 4 for 11, pretty much all at the top. What were your thoughts?
Mohammad Shami, looked fantastic today. The fact that he got 3, 4, 5, and 6, or 3, 4, and 5, sorry, who were all fantastic batters, all caught behind in a T20 was really impressive. Phil Salt didn't need to go out the way that he did. That was just silly. And then David Warner giving up with some, cross communication and terrible running. Rashid Khan just flicking the bails off was very impressive. And yeah, I don't think Delhi could have had a worse start, to be honest, until they were rescued by the all-rounder that is Axar Patel.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we sound like broken records at this point, but Axar Patel, he is single-handedly carrying this Delhi Capitals team with the batting. I say single-handedly. Someone else did give him a hand this time, but he's the one that is consistently stopping the rot. Yeah, the collapses are happening early. They were, how many was it? They were 5 down inside the power play. 5 down inside the power play. And Axar Patel was the one that stood up and said, right, stop. No more throwing away wickets. And he was ably supported by Aman Hakim Khan, who I've got to say, this is a time where Delhi need some batters that can show a bit of application.
Yeah.
And he really did. I was very, very impressed with him. To say that every time they it looked like every batter that tried to play a shot on this pitch was really struggling. It looked pretty similar to the Lucknow pitch, but I don't think it was actually as bad. But yeah, just some excellent application. And then Ripple Patel, I thought he finished it off really well and got Delhi up to 130, which from where they were, from being 23 for 5, I've got to say that is an incredible effort. Like that is commendable from that lower order. How many times can Delhi be saved by that lower order though? Like, is it sustainable? I feel like at this point they are definitely out, but at least they've made some memories along the way.
Yeah, I think they are. I think Delhi, they are down and out, and it doesn't look likely that they're going to be a playoff spot. I think if Zach were here, he'd work out that it was mathematically still possible for them to get in. But it just looks like they're not going to be there. But what everyone else, I think, is very pleased about is that Gujarat haven't gone 4 points clear at the top, now having played 9 games. If Mumbai beat Sunrisers in their next game, which I believe is tomorrow's game, it's Lucknow Chennai and then Mumbai versus Punjab. But if Mumbai get a win, then they join the 10-point club, and the winner of Lucknow Chennai has a chance to go top. So it's a really just exciting IPL this year. Yeah, it is just class.
But if we move on to the Gujarat innings,
yes,
right, because this is where things got really exciting. So almost unlike the game between RCB and Lucknow, which it got exciting at the end, but because people were just having a scrap. This one was exciting because of the cricket. Hardik Pandya playing himself in a KL Rahul-esque role in batting the full innings if he can. And we'll go back to him and his role. But he held it together. He almost took them to the victory, but he couldn't accelerate when it counted. Ambinav Manohar, he did very well to sort of drum up a bit of a partnership. And then Rahul Tewatia, I cannot believe this guy. Like, he's on a different planet. He was on 20 off 5 balls. And then it took some real special stuff from Ishant Sharma to get him out. And some just, for the Iceman who took Henrik Nortje down. There's 3 sixes in a row. And I tweeted out, I was like, right, is it weirder that when they needed 33 off the last 2 overs, I was like, yeah, this is Gujarat's. Like, they've got this in the bag. Or is it weirder that Rahul Tewatia keeps on getting these knocks on a very consistent basis?
100%. Even when it was 12 off 6, I was watching it and I was like, I can't see Delhi winning this. I didn't see them defending that score. And like, where's Ishant Sharma been all season? Because that display of death bowling from Ishant today was just so good. The fact that they needed 2 a ball to win and no boundaries, it's that classic 12 off 6 in the nets. And he bowled the exact right over, like keeping it in a place where the batter couldn't hit them for a boundary. I do want to shout out, though, he didn't have a day with the bat, but Riley Russo in the field in that last over, I think he kept Delhi in that game because he took the catch of Rahul Tewatia that if he'd have dropped it would have meant that, I mean, that could
they'd have won. Realistically, they'd have won.
That could have been 2 runs there, and then Tewatia could have scored another ball. I think Tewatia was frustrated because of the wide Yorker that he just missed out from scoring on, and the wide wasn't given, even though I don't think it was a wide. But you can tell as a bowler at heart, I'd never give that as a wide, would I really? But then, Ishant Sharma just bowled the fantastic, perfect right last over, like not going for a boundary. But Riley Russo, his stop on that shot from Rashid Khan, I think that they got 2 off in the end.
Maybe, yeah.
But that stop where he just stuck a hand out definitely saved 4 runs. And it meant that they needed 6 for a super over of 2 balls. Rather than they needed, it was 9 off 2, I think.
Yeah.
And then it was they hit a 2 because of that stop. If that had gone for 4, it's a completely different game. And it meant that Rashid had to hit a 6 off the last ball to force a super over, and then panicked, rushed through the shot, and could only pick up the 1 run. So it was a really good, really tight game. And I was just really impressed with how Delhi kept their heads. And you could see what it meant to them at the end there as well.
Yeah. I mean, seeing Ricky Ponting smile was something that we just haven't seen all tournament. And you're right, it was the experience and the cool head of Delhi that got them through. And in particular, Ishant Sharma, I thought his ball to get rid of Vijay Shankar was absolutely amazing. Like, we saw Sandeep Sharma bowl an amazing knuckleball against Mumbai the other day, where it was almost like it was a knuckleball leg cutter and it actually turned, and that got Rohit Sharma out. There's some speculation that it was actually Sanju Samson's glove that got that out. It wasn't. We've seen angles since. So, if you wrote that in the comments, I disagree with you now. But I would go as far to say that this Ishant Sharma knuckleball was even better.
It was incredible.
He changed the ball. I might grab a ball. Just show
Grab a ball. I'll get one too.
All right, well, mine's a Duke's ball. All right, that's how English I am. But yeah, he literally changed it into a knuckleball, like right at the last minute, rolling it into his fingers, and then he bowled it, and it was so last minute that yeah, it completely outfoxed Vijay Shankar. It was brilliant.
Really impressed. That's the knuckleball. You're actually really good at bowling. That's it.
I would say they are slightly different calibers of bowling. Mine is against like,
me.
Yeah, like a Terry from the pub on a Wednesday. That's where my knuckleballs come out.
I think
absolute grenades. But
what really impressed me about that Ishant Sharma knuckleball was the ball flight and how it just dipped at the very end. And yeah, it's a ball that I wish I could develop, like the leg cutter and the knuckleball. I wish that I had that. Like I'm having to stick with my off cutters and my back of the hands at the minute in terms of my slower balls because they're the only ones that I can do. But yeah, it was a great display from Ishant Sharma, and I think it, as I said, it just makes the IPL really interesting this year. Which yeah, a good IPL is a good thing for cricket, right?
Amen. Right. I believe we have got some Cricket Nerds questions.
Nice.
So we'll have a look at them. Krishna has asked, what's your take on field banters / sledging? And which is the best and worst banter till date for each of you? So I don't know if this is like stuff we've experienced or
in real life
or like we've seen in matches or whatever. But in general, I think sledging's all right if it's done in the right spirit. Especially at like if you're not a pro, right? If you're just playing casually on a Saturday, if you're gonna sledge, it has to be funny, it has to be light-hearted, and it has to be about cricket. Don't make it personal. Don't make it mean, because you're not good enough. So shut up. That's my opinion. Internationally, I think go for it. Get in the players' heads. But that being said, don't be like football. Yeah, you don't need to start fighting. You don't need to be a Kohli versus Gambhir. Although the charity boxing match between those two, I will be buying a pay-per-view.
That would break the internet.
That would be absolutely brilliant.
That would be the biggest boxing pay-per-view ever. I agree with you. I think that a little bit of friendly banter is hilarious. I've seen the best and the worst sides of it. The worst sides being 30, 40-year-old blokes who are taking the game far too seriously in Division 6 of the South Notts Cricket League, sledging a 15-year-old batsman who stepped a little bit outside of his crease when I'm at square leg. That's not on. What is funny is when I completely was done by a sledge, when the wicketkeeper was just standing up the whole time and was in my ear and was commenting about my driving. And then it was the sledge. He said, who gave him his driving license? And then he said something about that. Now I've got a provisional driving license because I hit it straight to a fielder. And then the next ball I ran down the wicket and I got stumped.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I was like, I'll show you how to drive. And then completely missed it. And I turned around and I said to the keeper, you should claim that wicket because that was all you. You completely got in my head there and you won that battle. But yeah.
Yeah, see, that's good sledging. I don't mind.
There's time for the friendly banter and there's time when it's just people being grumpy.
Yeah. But when it's Siraj, like, giving it the big one against Naveen, who just isn't
Grow up.
Shut up. Right. We've had a comment from and I think this might be my favorite name on YouTube. Unemployed cricketer has asked, or he said, I think the impact player rule introduced in this IPL has resulted in so many close matches and high scores. What do you think of introducing this rule in international cricket? Now, I'm going to take this one because I personally think that the impact player rule, while it has resulted in some entertaining matches, it has reduced the creation of Indian all-rounders. Like name an Indian player, a domestic player at the moment in the IPL that is consistently practicing both disciplines, batting and bowling.
Yeah.
I can think of Axar Patel and Hardik Pandya. Can you think of others? Because there were plenty that would, like Venkatesh Iyer, he was opening the bowling and the batting for KKR in a couple of seasons ago. Rahul Tewatia was having to bowl a lot more leg spin. Rian Parag, we were seeing bowl. Ayush Badoni bowled a little bit. All of these players were working on those secondary skills. We don't see that now.
Maybe.
Oh, Jadeja, yeah, there's a good one.
But then Jadeja's again, he's not been performing with the bat with the bat specifically. Ben Stokes a little bit as well, but
he's not an Indian.
He isn't. That's true. He isn't Indian. Great point. I agree though. I think aside from Hardik, Jadeja, and Axar, I wouldn't say there are any through and through all-rounders. Ashwin thinks he is. Like, really thinks he is, but he's not. He's just a class bowler. And yeah, I think that's why we're seeing exciting games. On the international stage, I'm not sure how much I like it. I like it in a franchise tournament. I like it in, your domestic leagues where you're trying to make it a bit more exciting. I think something like it in the 100 would probably be quite entertaining. But in international, in T20Is, I'm not convinced there's a space for it because I think it ends up turning cricket too much into football.
Yeah, or even like American football, because I'm sure they have like a defense side and an offense, like almost different squads for each role. I don't want to see, the bowling squad come out.
Yeah.
And it's full of tail enders, and then the batting squad, and it's just 11 blokes that can clear the ropes every ball. Like
we've seen it in the Big Bash. I imagine we'll see something in Major League Cricket. I'd like to see something similar in the 100, but yeah, I don't think for like the T20 Blast, probably not, because again, that's more domestic. I don't think we'll see it in the side of Mushtaq Ali. I think those keep that as actual cricket with 11 players. And yeah, do what you like in franchise because it makes good TV. And as we say, having those viewing numbers up and having the IPL interesting is a great thing for cricket, because I think the IPL, like for me, James and Zach as well, it's one of the things that got us to love cricket even more. I think, especially you, James.
I got into cricket through the IPL. Yeah,
really.
Believe it or not, watching Kings 11 Punjab got me into the game of cricket.
There you go. But yeah, so I think it's interesting for that. I think probably not an international, but as you say, it has made a very interesting IPL this year. I totally agree with that comment.
Yeah. Right. We're going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you want us to answer your questions, leave them in the comments down below, and we will try to answer them in the next edition. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really do appreciate all the support that we're getting on the channel. You can follow our social medias. We are at Cricket Nerds Pod on Instagram and Twitter. All of our socials and all the links that you need to see are in the link tree down in the description. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.